Hello YouTube, welcome to Ambrose Landscaping YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing whether or not you should be telling people your hourly wage. You should not do it, but we're going to tell you why next, so stay tuned. Alright guys, let's get started. So I have to admit, the video that I'm about to do right now, I just did it and I forgot to turn my microphone on. So now I have to redo the whole entire thing and it stinks because the last video was so good. But let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be discussing whether or not you should be revealing what your hourly wage is to your clients. And the answer is no. And how important is your hourly wage? And the best way I can describe it, your hourly wage is just like your social security number. It's that important. We're going to tell you a couple reasons why they are very important. So let's go ahead and start with a fun little story. I have a good friend that's a landscaper in this local area where I live, and he actually moved here from the Dominican Republic and started a landscaping company here. He's an extremely nice guy. I love him. I've known him for the past like 4 years now, when I first met him, we got to know each other very well, saw that we weren't going after the same clients, that we were really more to help each other out. And so from there, I've been helping him kind of grow his business and of course help him just get a little bit better with what he does. And so every single year I talk to him, I always ask him what's he charging his hourly wage because we know each other very well. And he told me what he was, and it was just completely way too low. And I see the work that he does, and I told him you're worth way more than that. And I told him that you need to start charging more. But what he told me was because he charged by the hour, people were starting to turn him away and his clients weren't liking that. So what I told him was you need to stop doing that. You need to raise your prices and do everything by bids. So before we go further, we'll discuss the 3 ways that you can submit or I guess charge a client. There's by square footage, there's by the hour, and then there's by the job or bid. The way we do it in our company is strictly bid, just because it's way more profitable. It's a lot easier to get out. An hourly wage, you're kind of stuck there. You're kind of being watched a lot more because you're on a time clock and people don't want to pay you if you're off doing stupid things or taking your time or just to take a phone call. By the square footage, I've never done it before, but I know there's a lot of companies that do, and mostly because there's an app out there. I'm not sure what the app is. I forgot what it's called. But what it does is it takes a Google Eye view of whatever property you're looking at taking care of. You can outline the property square footage, it will tell you, and then whatever you charge by the square foot, you times that by whatever the number is, and then you can just easily send off that bid. Now that method works perfect for larger companies or people that are getting tons of phone calls for new businesses or new clients, because they just don't have the time to go out there, take a look at the property. They can easily, someone can call them up saying what's the property, they can sit there and outline it and then just send them a bid. It's so much easier instead of showing up to the job. Now I don't like doing that in my company. If you do it in yours, that's completely fine. Hopefully it works out for you guys, but for us, I noticed that by the bid works out the best for us. Alright, so now we're going to tell why you should not be revealing your hourly wage to your clients. So like we just talked about, you can do it by the square footage and by the job. So now we're going to talk about hourly. The problem I have with hourly, we used to do it back in the day, is that it has no room for profit. You're being watched way too much by your client because, like I said, if you're off taking a simple phone call, they're going to tell you to stop or want it to be deducted from the bill or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm sure people come up with some stupid stuff. So the biggest reason why you don't want to tell your hourly wage or whatever you charge is because someone can easily come and underbid you. And we've had this happen many times before where you go and send a bid to someone or tell someone your hourly wage, and some new landscaping company starting up, you know, they want to take on any job. So sometimes they will either ask how much did the previous guy charge you, or they will ask the client, or the client will even tell them, oh well, this guy's charging me $30 to mow my yard, and they can sit there and say, oh, I'll do it for 28 or 25, or they just lowball you. And they can do that because they don't pay all the stuff we have to pay. That's one of the reasons. Another big reason why you don't want to tell people what your hourly wage is because I was just thinking of it and now I forgot it. So hold on. Okay. Alright, so I remembered. Okay, so the other reason why you don't want to be telling people is because if you tell people what your hourly wage is and it doesn't sit well with them, you're going to be declined quite a bit. And like I said, if you're charging $10 an hour when you first start out, people are willing to pay that, but once you start getting up to 75, 100, 125 or whatever you charge, people don't want to hear that stuff. They just don't like it. I mean, if someone were to tell you that they're going to charge you $100 an hour to fix your truck, you're kind of like, that's kind of a lot, and you try to find someone cheaper, especially when it comes to mowing, because there's tons of companies out there. So you will be denied quite a bit if your hourly wage kind of goes up. So, you know, of course, we can do another video on how to properly bid a job and how we do it in our steps. I think bidding, in my personal opinion, you can make some good money and some good profit with square footage, but from what we experience in our company, I personally like bids just because, like I said, there's that profit margin that you can make. For example, we went and did this one job where it took us only an hour to do it, and I made $300 in 1 hour, where if I would have charged by the hour, I would have made way less. And so that's why I like the bid, because you, like I said, you just have a way bigger profit margin for your company, and that profit should be the best word that you can hear in your company, is the word profit. So hopefully we covered everything. Like I said, I just did the video prior to this, so hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. But overall, do not tell people what your hourly wage is, because it can either come back and bite you in the butt, which I said in the last video, or you can either just go out of business or lose a bunch of clients, because once some landscaping company finds out what you're charging, they can simply charge a couple dollars cheaper, and they can take all your jobs, underbid you on everything, and that's not a good scenario. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps. Like I said, I think that's the biggest advice I can give to you guys, is to never reveal your hourly wage. Those who leave comments in either our Instagram or our YouTube channel asking us how much we charge for this job or how much we pay for that, we never really reveal unless it was a product that we purchased. But when it comes to jobs, we never reveal how much we charge, just because, like I said, it's something that's very important that you should be watching out for, especially for competitors. For us, you know, competitors watching our videos, if they do, can easily, if I told them, oh, we charge this much for Discount Tire, and then they can easily just go to Discount Tire and underbid me. So very important not to get that information out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, start clicking the poll up in the corner. We're gonna start leaving polls on all our videos to see what you guys are thinking. Hope you guys liked it. Subscribe, like, and we will see you next time on Ambrose Landscaping.